Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Chemistry Tutorials by Kiranmai. In this video, I am teaching limitations of Bohr's model. In previous classes, we discussed about Bohr's postulates, Bohr's model for hydrogen atom and explanation of line spectrum of hydrogen atom. While discussing about the Bohr's model, we said that it is more improved version of atomic model when compared to Thomson's watermelon model and Rutherford's nuclear model. Let's have a quick look about it. According to Thomson, the nuclear model is like watermelon in which the mass of the atom is spread uniformly, in which electrons are scattered like seeds in the watermelon. But this model cannot explain the stability of atom. So this model is proved to be wrong. And then as time passed, Rutherford proposed a nuclear model after alpha ray scattering experiment. So according to Rutherford, nucleus is a very small portion in which the mass of the atom is located and around which electrons are revolving round the nucleus. This is also known as a planetary model, but this model is also proved to be wrong as it cannot explain the stability of atom. Later on, Bohr proposed an more atomic model for hydrogen. According to Bohr's model, nucleus is located at the center of the atom and electrons are revolving round the nucleus in a defined circular orbit. And he also explained the stability of atom by considering that the electron will have the same amount of energy as long as it stays in the circular orbit. So this model is an improved model when compared to Rutherford's nuclear model and Thomson's watermelon model. Though it is an improved model, it also have some drawbacks. Let's discuss that one. Bohr's model successfully explained the line spectrum of hydrogen, but when the spectrum of hydrogen is taken by using some sophisticated spectroscopic methods, nothing but advanced spectroscopic methods, the spectral lines in the spectrum is split into two. That is, the doublet is seen in the spectrum. Why these finer lines is observed in the spectrum is not explained by Bohr's model. So it failed to explain finer details of the hydrogen spectrum. Failed to explain finer details of hydrogen spectrum observed by using sophisticated spectroscopic techniques, means advanced spectroscopic techniques. And second one is it can explain only the structure of hydrogen atom or hydrogen like atoms. That is, it can only explain the spectrum of hydrogen, only hydrogen spectrum or hydrogen like atoms spectrum, that is isoelectronic species with respect to hydrogen atom. explain only hydrogen spectrum or spectrum of isoelectronic species with respect to hydrogen atom, such as helium plus, lithium 2 plus, or beryllium 3 plus. It cannot explain the other spectrum, that is it cannot explain even the 2 electron hydrogen atom spectrum. It can only explain single electron species like hydrogen atom. And third one is, if we are taking the spectrum of hydrogen, when we apply magnetic field, the spectrum lines get split. This effect is known as Zeeman effect. This effect is not explained by Bohr's model. So failed to explain Zeeman effect. Zeeman effect means splitting of spectral lines in the presence of magnetic field. It also failed to explain Stark effect. Stark effect is nothing but splitting of spectral lines in the presence of electric field. While taking the spectrum, if the spectral lines get split in the presence of electric field, then that effect is known as Stark effect. This effect is also not explained by Bohr. Splitting of spectral lines in the presence of electric field. So it cannot explain Zeeman effect. It cannot explain Stark effect. Next one, the last drawback, but it is the most important drawback of Bohr's model, that it failed to explain the ability of atoms failed to explain ability of atoms to form molecules by chemical bonds. See, atoms form chemical bonds between them, and then they lead to the formation of molecules. How atoms are involved in chemical bonding, how molecules are formed, is not explained by Bohr's model. So these are the drawbacks. So first one, it cannot explain finer details of hydrogen spectrum. It can only explain the hydrogen spectrum, but it cannot explain other than hydrogen atom like helium, lithium, beryllium. So it only explains hydrogen spectrum. And it failed to explain Zeeman effect. It failed to explain Stark effect. It also failed to explain how molecules are formed from atoms by chemical bonds. So these are the limitations of Bohr's model. If you find this video helpful, please like the video. If you have any doubts in this video which I explained, please comment in the comment section. Thank you.